You all know I've been talking about Via for years now, and that's because I truly love their products. I use them regularly, I trust them, and their High Glove gummies are one of my favorites. I recommend these to friends and partners and listeners and anyone who wants to feel more connected to their body and experience more pleasure, because who doesn't? Via's High Love was originally a Valentine's Day release, but it became such a fan favorite that they made it a permanent part of their lineup, and thank goodness, because here's the deal. It has this amazing blend of cannabinoids plus natural aphrodisiacs like maca, damiana, and horny goatweed. So yes, it boosts blood flow, heightens sensations, and just really helps you drop into the moment. You hear all about edibles, but these are ones that actually do a lot at once. So whether you're with a partner or flying solo, it's just like a next level experience. I've brought these to parties and giving them to everyone in the party, and I'm telling you, everybody has a good time. And I also love that Via has something for everyone. Whether you just want a microdose or something stronger, you want THC or THC free, everything is made from organic hemp, lab tested, and ships discreetly nationwide. You don't need a medical card. So if you're 21 and over, treat yourself to Via's annual Spring 420 sale. Black Friday level savings, up to 35% off site-wide right now, and up to 50% off packs and bundles, and get a free gift and more savings with your first order using our exclusive code Emily at viahemp.com. Plus enjoy free shipping on orders over $100. That's VIIAHEMP.com. Use code Emily at checkout. That's viahemp.com. Use code Emily at checkout. Happy shopping. These stereotypes are so deeply baked into our culture. And honestly, in the past, I've believed many of these things. I was like, he doesn't want sex, must be my fault. Or why isn't he showing through his pants and all the things? These are just really harmful. So I want you all to check this and say not just nod and be like, okay, yeah, but really take it in. How are you believing these stereotypes, and how is it impacting your relationship right now? You're listening to Sex with Emily. I'm Dr. Emily, and I'm here to help you prioritize your pleasure and liberate the conversation around sex. So what's a common stereotype you've heard about sex? Maybe it's that guys just want one thing, or that once you have kids, say goodbye to your sex life. But not only are those stereotypes tiresome on societal level, they actually hurt your sex life. Why? Well, because if you buy into them, they basically limit your pleasure potential. So on today's show, I reveal the top 3 sexual stereotypes penis owners and vulva owners told me they were tired of, and the new truths that are going to empower you in bed. I also give you quick communication hacks to help you get curious with any partner, whether they're long-term or brand new, so that you can have the sex you actually want. Please rate and review Sex with Emily wherever you listen to the podcast. It just helps get the podcast out to more people like you. You can find us on all social media. It is at Sex with Emily. And don't forget to check out my new article, How to Spring Clean Your Sex Life, on sexwithemily.com. All right, everyone, enjoy this episode. What's a common stereotype you've heard of when it comes to sex? Maybe it's, oh, guys always want it more than women. Or once you hit menopause, ladies, it's game over for your sex life. Say goodbye. But here's the thing about stereotypes. Once you start challenging them and digging beneath the surface and seeing is this actually true? Your sex life gets way better. Because even though these are big societal cliches, we all hear them and take them in. And that creates a lot of defeating assumptions around sex. And by the way, this limits your pleasure. We believe them to be true, and it's going to hurt us in the bedroom. So on today's show, I'm going to debunk common stereotypes for vulva owners and penis owners so you can know what's what and have better, hotter sex. So what I'm going to do is reveal the top 3 stereotypes vulva owners said they want to challenge, reveal the top 3 stereotypes penis owners want to challenge, and give you communication hacks and other tools to increase your pleasure and start connecting on a deeper level. And I'm also taking some calls about some stereotypes. So let's get into it. These are the top sexual stereotypes for vulva owners. That we don't enjoy sex and have low sex drives. The truth is, vulva owners want sex and can even have higher sex drives than their partners. Specifically their partners with a penis. And I'm going to be really honest with you all. When I first started as a sex educator, I literally will never forget the day I learned this wasn't true. It was pretty early on. And I was blown away that vulva owners could actually have higher sex drives than penis owners. I believe that trope that women are frigid, we're never in the mood for sex, and men have to get their fix, and we don't really like sex, to the point where I actually believed it. I actually believe this was true. And I was so like, are you guys sure this really isn't true? Like, you know what I mean? Like when you trail something, you're like, holy, there's another way. But not only did I learn it, I started to have countless conversations with friends soon after, once I told them what I was doing and what I was studying. And sure enough, I came to find out I had so many female friends that were like, yeah, I want sex way more than my partner. He'd never want sex. That I just found out, wow, not only is this true, I started to wonder, not to create another stereotype, but do vulva owners actually want more sex than penis owners? No, that's not true either. It's not even split in any way that I can talk about. But what I'm telling you is that we all want sex at different times, at different frequencies. No way can you pin heightened sexual desire on one gender. The other problem with this stereotype, though, that women have low sex drives is that when a lot of these friends I talk to and listeners, when you get rejected, I'm talking about heterosexual couples here, but when you get rejected by a male partner for wanting sex all the time, because of this stereotype, it allows us to feel like we are not desirable, we're not sexy, there's something wrong with us. When we believe the stereotype, we think, well, men are made for sex, so if he's rejecting me, there's something seriously wrong with me. And I can't tell you how damaging this is. And again, I haven't heard this as much from penis owners, that when their female partner doesn't want sex, it hurts in the same way. So let's just debunk this myth together. And let me tell you this. My dear friend, Dr. Wednesday Martin, has an amazing book that y'all should read called Untrue. And Untrue offers updated science, people, science on female sexuality. And one of her main points is about monogamy and how it's definitely a tighter shoe for women in the long run than men. Like, women struggle with monogamy in ways that aren't often documented or that we hear about. And I'm not saying that every vulva owner wants to be non-monogamous at all. But what I am saying, and what Wednesday says in her book, is that novelty is a big deal for female sexuality. It really is. Like, we want variety. We want different locations and positions. And sometimes we want you to talk dirty. And sometimes we want to dress up. We want you to dress up. Like, we want to mix it up. It's not that we're naturally less sexual at all. It's just we want some novelty. We want some variety. We want some spontaneity. The latest research does show that in long-term monogamous relationships, a woman's sex drive tends to taper in years 1 to 4. So bottom line, being sexually bored, not the same thing as being less sexual. Vulva owners are just as sexual as penis owners, but they might need just some more novelty and variety to keep their drive high. And variety doesn't necessarily mean other partners. The last thing I want you to go away with and say, God, everyone wants all the vulva owners want other partners. No, I'm just saying you can get variety in a lot of different ways. And, you know, a lot of things I talk about on the show, if you listen, you realize, or go to our website, you know that novelty doesn't have to mean a whole revamp of your sex life. It could literally mean, I got a new lube. We had sex in the living room instead of the bedroom. We talked about our sex life today. That could be the variety I'm talking about. But you might be surprised to learn that many people have sex in the same way, at the same time, in the same location, the same position, doing the same old thing with the same person every single day for their entire relationship. And then they wonder why they no longer are excited for sex. So let's mix it up. All right. The second stereotype about vulva owners, they all want the same thing in bed. You know what the truth is? We all have unique sexual desires. We're all like snowflakes. And there is this long-standing do this and make her come mentality, like pickup artist style assumption, like if you do this thing with your finger, if you say this thing, she's going to want more. You know, if you master this one move, she's going to freak out in bed and crown you her king. None of that is true. And by the way, this is a reminder to anybody with a vulva owner, just because your last partner wanted something in bed doesn't mean it's going to work for your current partner. You know, when you went down in your last vulva, maybe she wanted fingers and a mouth and different movements, and then you're with a new partner and you do the same thing with the finger and the mouth, and she's like, what the hell are you doing? So this means that we have to pay attention, that every time you're with a new partner, you got to pay attention, you got to ask questions, you got to ask what do they want in bed, because there's no way you're going to learn from past partner. And porn might make you think that every vulva owner wants anal without lube. Oh, that drives me crazy. Why do they show anal without lube? in porn. But anyway, it might make you think that they want anal, that they want to squirt, that they want you to choke them. And if you just master these moves, you are golden with every woman forever. Not the case at all. We do not want the same things in bed. So instead of making an assumption, why not just ask, so what are you into? What's something you'd like to try in bed? Remember, communication is lubrication. And I've got a ton of communication tools on my website. In fact, this show could just be called Communication with Emily because, I've got lots of sex tips, but we really also need to communicate. So if you go to sexwithemily.com/guides, I give you tools to help you know yourself sexually, know your partner, get ideas for new things to try, and ask a partner, what new activities do they want to explore? Okay, the third stereotype we hear about vulva owners, once you hit menopause, sex won't be as good. Here's the truth. Ton of vulva owners say that sex gets better the older they get. Can we just let go of this idea that a woman being past her prime and, she just no longer is sexually viable or can have sex? That's just all untrue. Remember, being fertile is not the same thing as being sexual. You might not be able to have babies once you hit menopause, but it doesn't mean you don't want to have sex. What's happening during menopause is that there are hormones. Our hormones are changing. We have ever-changing hormones that are going to impact our ability to feel sexual and to experience pleasure in the same way. But it's all treatable. For example, here's some common menopausal symptoms and how to treat them. I can't talk about menopause enough. I'm just saying, nobody talked about it. It was like whispers. It was like it doesn't happen. My mom never mentioned it. But now what I love is that we're having so many conversations about it. So any chance I get, I really want to give you the right information because I know there's just been this dearth of information for so long. So even if you're not in menopause, you will be. You have vulva. You're going to get there. But maybe your mom or your aunt or your sister or your neighbor needs this information. So just listen up. You might have vaginal dryness, especially if you're going through menopause. But side note, you might have it anyway from other medications you're on or birth control pills and all the things. But let's talk about menopause specifically. Use lube. Use lube all the time. Another common menopausal symptom is the thinning of your vaginal tissues, which means you might have pain. You might have more UTIs. Sex just isn't as pleasurable. This is all due to low estrogen. And contrary to popular belief the last 20 years, estrogen therapy is very, very helpful for treating these symptoms. And the reason why we didn't talk about it for 20 years is because there was a lot of misinformation that hormone replacement therapy was going to cause breast cancer or cancer. And we are finding now that none of that was true. And that for many, many, many years before that, women were using estrogen therapy to help them with all of these things, specifically the pain, UTIs. It just helps strengthen your vaginal walls. So huge fan of estrogen and hormone therapy. Another thing I want to remind you is that if you are having lower desire or you're not in the mood for sex, I just want to remind you, this goes for everyone truly, but masturbation. Masturbate. Remember that sex begets sex. So if you haven't been having any sex with anyone else and you haven't been having sex with yourself, well, of course you're not in the mood. The more you do it, the more you remember why you have it. Orgasms are good for you. They boost your mood. They help with blood flow. And masturbation also works your pelvic floor. It keeps the blood flowing to your genitals. And I just want to remind you that there are hormone-free supplements as well that you can take with sex-supportive ingredients. There's just a lot of solutions, and I'm going to continue to talk about this with you as the months and years go on. All right, don't go away because after the break, I'm revealing the sexual stereotypes that penis owners are tired of hearing. This episode is supported by FX's Dying for Sex, starring Michelle Williams and Jetty Slate. Inspired by a true story, this series follows Molly, who after receiving a terminal cancer diagnosis decides to leave her husband to explore the full breadth of her sexual desires. She gets the courage and support to go on the sex quest from her best friend Nikki, who stays by her side through it all. FX's Dying for Sex. All episodes now streaming on Hulu. Let's get into it. The top sexual stereotypes for penis owners. Ready? They're tired of hearing that they only care about the sex and they don't care about feelings. Does that relate? Well, here's the truth. Penis owners need emotional connection just as much as vulva owners. Can I hear it for emotional intelligence? Can I hear it for giving penis owners the right to have feelings and emotions? Let's just get rid of this one once and for all. I heard this one so much on the Twitter thread. A ton of men told me the thing they hated most was being seen as a horny caveman who didn't care about the cuddles. I literally heard this. They don't care about emotional connection, and they're like, oh, give me my woman. I'm just going to hump her and then leave her on the side of the road. No, none of this is true. And even in casual sex settings, it's a myth to think that penis owners are simply using you. Yeah, maybe there are some, but I'm telling you, there's vulva owners who might be using you too. So let's not cast stones in any directions, okay? The reason this stereotype is so damaging because it's an extension of that boys will be boys idea. It's just so outdated and so harmful. Penis owners are multidimensional, and everyone's pleasure potential can get so much better once we stop viewing their sexuality as this purely surface level thing. Like they'll just stick it in anything, that whole American Pie, whatever. Not true. Does everyone know American Pie reference of like fucking the pie? All right, cool. Okay. Number 2, stereotype. Men don't have body image issues. Truth, they do. At least some men do. I don't think it's been as commonplace for men to feel safe saying, I don't feel great about my body. So it is incorrect to assume that body image issues are only a female thing. Many penis owners think their bodies have to look a certain way, or they have to be a certain height or a certain way. I mean, believe me, they do these concerns. And a lot of penis owners told me that the stereotype that hurt them most was this idea that they were supposed to have bulging penises all the time, ready to go, even when they were flaccid. Like, you have to be a shower, not a grower. And by the way, most men are growers, okay? So this whole gotta look at the bulge on their pants and it should be a thing, this is so harmful. Can you imagine? Again, I want to have a moment for all the penis owners out there. It is not easy. These stereotypes are so deeply baked into our culture. And honestly, I, in the past, I've believed many of these things. I was like, he doesn't want sex, must be my fault. Or why isn't he showing through his pants and all the things? These are just really harmful. So I want you all to check this and say not just nod and be like, okay, yeah, but really take it in. How are you believing these stereotypes and how is it impacting your relationship right now? Now listen, in my book, Smart Sex, I have a whole section on self-acceptance and exercises designed to help you see yourself in a much more positive light. I'll tell you a few of those here. First, learning to accept your body. Stand in the mirror naked and state the things you are grateful for. What do you actually like about your body? It could just be I love that I have strong legs that allow me to walk from point A to B. Or I love my cheekbones. I love my lips. I love my hair. We all have things to be grateful for. And even in times of great distress and feeling bad about ourselves, which I'm going to say we all have these challenges from time to time. I don't think anyone gets away from this. If you actually are somebody who goes through life and loves everything about you and you have none of these challenges, just email me. I want to talk to you. I want to do a whole episode with you. I want to hear how you literally love every part of your body. Every piece of hair, everything, every muscle, every bone, everything. I just want to know. I want to know you. I want to be friends with you. I want to hang out with you. But anyway, we can all find things that we appreciate. Like the fact that I'm just sitting here and I can sit up straight and I'm not lying down right now, that I can talk and use my vocal cords and the way that you are able to communicate. I am just super grateful. So it really helps to find those things in yourself that you are grateful for, especially when you are on a whole body hating or body not loving place. I just ask that we can get to a place of even body neutrality, being neutral about your body. It's a great place to start. Now, I also know there are penis owners who would like to change the appearance of their penis. Bottom line is, penis owners enjoy praise and compliments and hearing that you desire them and what you love about them. That took me a while to learn too, because I'm someone who loves praise and compliments, but I was like, well, he's confident. He's got it. He doesn't want to hear it. And in fact, penis owners have to learn to receive compliments too, because I think that I don't know, maybe it's a little bit easy for vulva owners, but I know you guys need it. I know you do. We want it and it's okay. I want to give you permission if you have a penis to ask for what you need in praise wise. And I also want to remind you, if you're with a penis owner, they need it too. And who doesn't need a compliment? In fact, I'd love you to give compliment to your partner tonight, or really anyone. It could be your friend, your partner. Like, when was the last time you gave a genuine compliment to somebody? And the side note is, be specific in your compliments. Rather than you look hot, you could say like, I really love the way that shirt looks on your sexy body. That color looks great and really brings out your sparkly eyes. So get specific. Compliments really even mean that much more when you can tailor it to the person you're talking to. The last stereotype we're going to retire for penis owners is prostate play is gay. Here's the truth. A gland is a gland, and your prostate does not care what's touching it or who is touching it. If it feels good, that's amazing. And let me tell you what, penis owners have a prostate. Vulva owners do not have a prostate, and it feels amazing when touched. Both men and women share this assumption. They share this assumption that if you want your prostate played with, which is just really sitting there waiting to be touched because it feels so good, it means that you're queer. And I hear it from you. You're saying, does it mean that my partner is gay? I saw him watching porn, or he asked me to penetrate him, or he asked me to use my fingers. Like, is he gay? I'm so worried. I'm going to remind you here, there was a lot that goes into your sexuality and orientation, and one sex act does not dictate that at all. It just means that you're highly educated around sex and pleasure, which I love. So back to the prostate. It is a way for penis owners to have internal orgasms, much like vulva owners and G-spot orgasms. And P.S., if I haven't made this clear, prostate orgasms feel incredible. All right, so what can we do to move on from these stereotypes and have better sex? So maybe you're listening and you're thinking, I have heard some of these stereotypes before and assumed they were true, because why wouldn't I? This is what I've heard my whole life. I don't blame you. That's why I was so excited to do this episode. And that's why I'm so grateful that you all chimed in and let me know that, yeah, these are the stereotypes you're tired of too. But what leads to a better sex life is curiosity, being non-judgmental, being open, having difficult conversations or awkward conversations about sex. Because when we get curious, instead of assuming, we open up so much more potential for pleasure. Okay, but how do we do it? How do we express our curiosity? Well, by learning to be a great communicator, which, by the way, you might talk a lot and you might feel like you're a great communicator, but you're probably not. It's a learned skill. You have to learn to be a communicator. If no one taught you to be a communicator, and maybe you have great parents who modeled this, or you've taken some classes on it, but honestly, there's so many layers to peel back to become a great communicator. And on my website, you will find tools to help you have these conversations with a partner and understand yourself more deeply. Because once we start to understand ourselves, it's all a process, but you'll learn how to be a better communicator. And also in my book, Smart Sex, there are so many great communication tools. All right, everyone. So remember, have conversations, do the work. When I say the work, talk to your partner about things, get into therapy, deal with childhood trauma, deal with any trauma, but learn how to be a great communicator. Set up weekly conversations with your partner where you talk about things that are difficult. Because if you're not talking about your sex life, I'm going to go on a limb there and say your sex life isn't the best it can be. So let's talk, let's lose the stereotypes, and let's find some time to communicate in an open, healthy, inclusive way. That's what I'm all about. And that's what I hope you're going to be about too. That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening to Sex with Emily, and be sure to like, subscribe, and give us a review wherever you listen to the podcast, and share this with a friend or a partner. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, or X, and Facebook. It's all at Sex with Emily. Oh, and I've been told I give really good email, so sign up on sexwithemily.com, and while you're there, check out my free guides and articles for more ways to prioritize your pleasure. And if you'd like to ask me about your sex life, dating, or relationships, call my hotline, 559-TALK-SEX. That's 559-825-5739, or just go to sexwithemily.com/askemily. Was it good for you? Email me, feedback@sexwithemily.com.